What is up, piglets and tiggers? It's the Big Ball and Pooh Bear, aka High and Mighty, here to do a cute another little Tavern Brawl Week 3 guide. So I didn't do a guide last week because I was working the Indie PopCon slash Halo Championship Series event, and I will be releasing a vlog about all of that, which will be really cool, and I hope you guys check it out in the near future, so keep your eyes peeled. So yeah, I've played a couple games of this already. I think I've won 2 out of 3. And it really just looks like it comes down to web spinner luck. Of course, if you can get King Crush or Gorilla, that's like, you're always going to do a backflip when you see those cards off a web spinner. But the real synergy will lie in cards like Scavenging Hyena, which you'll basically use to sack a bunch of beasts and pump it up so like your opponent can't deal with it. Another good one is Tundra Rhino. This is good because you can play it, clear their board, hopefully it lives, and then next turn you can play a giant beast with charge and just kind of overwhelm their board that way. And another good one to pick up is Starving Buzzard. Even though a 5-mana 3/2 is pretty ass, the fact that you could play it like turn 8 with like 3 web spinners and draw 3 cards is pretty awesome. So those are going to be your main synergy cards. There may be something I'm leaving out, but that's really what you're mostly going to be looking for. And a lot of this just comes down to what you pull off your web spinners. I'm actually going to try, I played Hunter a game, I played Mage as well, and I played Warlock. And I didn't really like Warlock because you're tapping for like 2 life in order to get a web spinner, which is not good. Let's try Druid. Let's see how Druid goes. I think that Hunter probably is going to be the best class for this, just because beasts are like beast synergy is already something that hunters have already. Not to mention, I pulled an explosive trap, so I know the deck runs explosive trap. I wish that this challenge, you could use your own decks and it would just like, maybe it'd be like 15 web spinners in the deck. Okay, so I go first. This is something I want to talk about real quick. What you want to do when you go first is not follow up by playing 2 more web spinners. You want to try to draw your other cards in your deck. I'm probably going to pull a web spinner back anyway. See, I got them back anyway, so it's like, you're almost always going to be able to play on curve because you're almost always going to be drawing web spinners. So we'll just go ahead and throw the web spinner down. I think Druid might be pretty good because I can do my hero power and kill a web spinner and I don't take any damage. So that seems like okay. He's probably going to coin out a web spinner. Yeah, so if I would have started with the coin, I would have kept 2 web spinners and thrown the rest away. Oh, naturalized. No. Is that good or bad? So if they get a crazy card off web spinner, I can naturalize it, and then they'll probably just like draw 2 web spinners. So naturalize might actually be pretty good. And I know that sounds really weird to say, but I think it's okay. King Mukla's decent here. We can try to clear board next turn. Hopefully we won't be able to clear board. What am I saying? I'm crazy. Get our little rubber ducky. You're the one right here. So a web spinner created by a web spinner. This is fucking web spinnerception. This is like super layers of meta. Super layers of web spinner meta. I'm just gonna clear board here. It gives me a web spinner left over. I get 2 beasts out of it. I did a mistake here, alright? What I'm supposed to do is clear the web spinners with my web spinners first and see what I get out of it. Because I could have drawn, I didn't happen to, but I could have drawn something that would have been way more optimal than doing my hero power. So that was like a really big mistake, and that's something that I noticed, like the first game I played, that was something that's important to do. And I just kind of like went in and didn't do it. But anyway, when you guys are doing this and playing this variant, trade with your web spinners before you spend your mana. Figure out your whole turn first. Trade your web spinners, see what you get. Decide if that changes your turn, and then play out your turn. So Core Rager's like really, like probably one of the worst beasts to get, I think. Simply because my hand's never going to be full. Web spinners are always going to be dying, giving me cards. Like, it's playing this card is and getting the 3/3 buff is a pretty big pipe dream. So I'm just gonna Raptor and chuck out some spinners, push face, and there you go. Yep. So we have board control, which is nice, but he can always do Unleash the Hounds or something like that. It looks like he's just going to play web spinners for days, web spinners for days, web spinner, spinning webs for dinner. So I think this challenge would also be cooler if it had Haunted Creeper and Nerubian Eggs in it, because they're also spiders in their own right. So, I mean, at least when the Nerubian Egg pops, spiders crawl on the board. So that's close enough. Like, there should have been variants. Like, I know, like, web spinners are fun, but I don't know. I don't like looking at, like, I don't like drawing the exact same card every single turn. It's kind of obnoxious. So, whatever. Again, I misplayed again, guys. See, like, let's see what I get. Jungle Panther wouldn't have made a difference. King of Beasts would have made such a difference. Oh, guys, this is why you trade your minions first. Okay, I just got tunneled on clearing and playing Mukla, and I didn't think about it, even though I had just told you guys about it. That's how easy it is to not play optimally when you're dealing with like new random stuff. So next turn, I'm gonna trade my web spinners first, and then we're going to do our turn. Yeah, so I would have totally played that differently. I would have sacked those spinners. I would have pulled the King of Beasts. I would have played him. He would have been like a 4/6 or a 5/6 taunt, and I would have been fine with that. Now it's not as strong because I don't have all those little web spinners on board. So that shows you right there why you need to trade spinners before doing your turn, unless there's some extenuating circumstance. Every now and then it'll happen. So he had an arcane shot. He's going to double pump up the spinner. Spend his whole turn doing that, basically. What are you going to do? Play 2 spinners or do your hero power? So there's a spinner. Spin around 2. Okay, we got a Stone Tusk BZ. Okay, cool. Can I get a spinner? I wanted a web spinner right there. So I could spinner and then beasts. And it would be... Okay, that's fine. That's no longer an option. So let's see what we get off our spinner. Web spinner, spinning webs for dinner. What do we get? Lost Tall Strider. Yeah, I guess I'll play that. I'll play that and do the hero power, not take any damage. Druid feels pretty good with this setup. I still think Hunter probably has the best synergy. Mage is pretty decent because the hero power you can ping. I think Priest is probably pretty decent too because it doesn't matter if they're playing a bunch of little creatures if you can just out heal like all those little creatures. Plus Holy Nova board wipe. Rogue, I guess if Rogue has Fan of Knives, then Rogue could be pretty good. I don't know about Warrior. No, so he got a high main off web spinner, so that's the first hard advantage that this gentleman has found. Okay, so we could do this clear. Yeah, that's pretty good. We don't have web spinners, so we don't have to worry about sacking our web spinners first. So we'll kill this. We don't have a way to clear it, do we? Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to naturalize here. And we'll see how it works out. So we're going to naturalize. And these are the 2 cards he just drew. Okay. So we're going to pay close attention to these 2 cards to see if naturalizing screwed me over or not. I might not win this game. I'm just kind of experimenting. So we can both learn together. Because I feel like it's a really basic challenge. And I don't know. I feel like if we can just kind of mess around and have a little fun with it, that's better than just being like, well, okay, so this is one of the cards he drew. It was a secret. Okay, probably explosive or freezing is what I'm guessing. Probably since he chose to play it right there, it's explosive. I think that makes the most sense. This card right here is his other card that he drew. So it's second from the top. Okay. Just passes. It's definitely explosive trap. If he passes, it's definitely explosive trap. So there's the web spinner. His other card. Okay, so his other card he drew was a web spinner, so I was right. Okay, so first we'll see what we get off our web spinner. And if it's freezing trap, I would rather juggle this back. It's explosive trap. So I think we'll mark of nature this. So it's 4-6 out of 4-8. We can go face. And it's explosive. Boom, that's fine. Now we will healing touch this. And then we'll hero power the other web spinner. And yeah, this guy. So it looks like Naturalize was a good play. Because the explosive trap and the web spinner, who cares? So Naturalize maybe potentially, possibly, is a good card in this variant. As long as you save it. And right now, I wish I had another Naturalize, to be honest with you, because I would totally Naturalize that. Let him draw spinners. Let him spin webs for dinners. Okay. So I think we can just get aggressive at this point, and we'll get aggressive by playing some stealth minions, and then just simply pushing face. Of course, we'll get down our web spinner. It's 5, 9, 10, 11 is hero power. So we have lethal next turn if he doesn't have some weird foreign AoE board wipe that I've never heard of. I guess he could prep another explosive trap, and that would kill this and this and this and prevent us from lethal for now, but it's still pretty, I mean, we have a pretty strong advantage, it seems. And wow, I mean, he got Malorn and Scavenging Highmane. No, Scavenging Highmane or Savannah Highmane off his web spinners. What, like, I got a fucking Core Hound. Like, this thing's a piece of garbage. A Tall Strider. Those are the best two cards I've gotten, has been Tall Striders and Core Hounds. Hot pieces of garbage. This guy's dead. I mean, he could, yeah, he's pretty dead. Dead in the water. Alright, man. You just got punished. Yeah, so Druid seems pretty decent. If it's got I don't know if it's got swipes or not, but if it's got swipes, it's even stronger. Because you can just massively wipe a board turn 4 and then push face with your web spinners. So yeah, I'm going to cut this here. Be sure to check out my YouTube. I'm going to be having, like I said earlier, I'm going to be having my event, the Indie PopCon event. All the vlogs I took like maybe like 12, short 1 or 2 minute vlogs. I'm going to compile them and make them, or Razzle's going to compile them and make them into a couple part series thing. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And make sure that when you go into this new Tavern Brawl mode, that you play web spinners and spin waves for dinners. In a slam turn 3, you played nothing turn 1 or turn 2. So we're pretty vastly ahead. It's unfortunate that we didn't draw a 3 or a 4 drop. So what we'll do is just totem here. Okay, we get a taunt to protect our guys. He's kind of forced into weapon on that. That's not bad. Then we got Starbucks on our plate. Bitch, why don't you throw that fucking 64 cents for that cup of fucking venti fucking bold decaf, whatever the fuck bullshit it is, and throw some extra padding up in the seats. I'm a big dude. I'm fucking 6'3". I'm 230 pounds. Your shit is way too small.